think you messaged me on the Fastlane forum because I followed you and said, hey, thanks for following me. And then I think I mentioned to you what I was working on, which was this new kind of website in the job hunting niche. And your first question back was, who have you helped? And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, well, nobody yet. And just that one question shifted my whole perspective on how I should go about doing this. I had a blog that I ran a few years ago in the personal development niche, and I was focused on the wrong thing then, which is why I don't think I got the results I was looking for. That small change in perspective opened up a new approach of how to get things done.
You read something of mine and you liked it enough to follow me. So it's enough for me to go, this guy's raised his hand. Sure. Something I've done is interested in him. So I just thanked you. And then I just ask a simple question, how are you doing? And then I'd ask another little question, who'd you help? Or who have you helped? Or how are you going to make a sale? Because often people are off building stuff. I find it interesting watching people go, I haven't helped anyone. It will be another 6 months before I can help them.
And from there, the next thing I started asking myself was like, man, how can I just get out in front of people and start trying to answer questions? My first thought was, let me find a forum where there's a lot of people that are talking about this topic that I'm trying to help people in. But I struggled to find an active forum about job hunting. You're only in that phase for a short period of time. Most people, if they've got a job they're happy with, they're not looking, they're not really worried about how to find a job. So I struggled to find a community. And then I think I Googled a question related to LinkedIn and job hunting and took me to Quora. And I was like, man, there's a ton of people in here just asking questions that I know I can give really good answers to. So I just started doing that. I was just spending a few hours every night when I got home from work, just answering different people's questions. And within the first month, I went from no answers on Quora ever to being the most viewed writer on anything related to LinkedIn profiles. So that's how I started helping people, just answering a ton of questions on Quora. But the response to that was crazy. I didn't even really think that I would get people to join my email list. I just had a little tagline at the end of all my answers. Okay, if you want to learn more, go here. My list grew by about 300 people in that 1 month, all through Quora, and the list started growing from there. And then I layered this survey on top of my squeeze page, where before you could opt in, you had to answer 4 or 5 questions about who you are, what you're struggling with, things like that. I've almost 300 really detailed answers of what people are struggling with. And everyone was pretty much saying the same thing. I'm applying for jobs or I'm reaching out to recruiters and I don't know why I'm not getting a response. So I added something at the end of my autoresponder series when people first signed up, offering a free 30-minute coaching session. Okay, here's free 30 minutes. I'll walk through what you're struggling with and I'll just give you some advice. So the very first one that I did, there was this lady from Texas and we're talking, I'm giving her all this advice. And then at the end I said, hey, if you're interested, I've got a coaching package. I was like, I'll sell it to you for $400. And she was like, done.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, really, that's it. So that's how it happened. I got my first client. I've got a few more of these free chat sessions coming up, so hoping I can land some more. And just yesterday, I finished a little 15-page action guide that I'm going to sell as a tripwire for everyone who signed up for the email list. Answering all those questions on the front end was huge. Helping all those people on Quora. They were so willing to share what they were struggling with through that survey, and then taking that data with talking to people. And now I've got a really good idea of what this market is struggling with and where I can help them.
I love it. I love it. In 1 month, just 1 month.
Right. 1 month, flat. And it was crazy because when I was running my last website in the personal development space, I spent so much time trying to get my website to look great and doing all these plugins. And I just focused a lot of time on the website. This time around, I think I've got 3 blog posts up there and that's it. And I wrote those in that first week, haven't really touched it since, but my email list has grown faster than it was before. And it's because my focus wasn't on how can I make my website look great or how can I get this plugin to work. It was like, man, how can I just go out, connect with someone, help them, and give them something to value? And it's made all the difference.
How many times have you posted, do you think, in Quora?
I think I've got 29 answers on there.
Only 29, and you've got this amount of volume.
Yeah, and the other people that are in that LinkedIn community that are answering questions, they've got like hundreds, and one guy even has well over 1,000 answers. So it's definitely more about the quality of the answer than the quantity.
I presume you didn't go in saying, hi, I'm Tony, I'm a LinkedIn expert. You just started answering questions.
Yeah, I was just in there. I was like, hey, I can answer that. Or, hey, I can answer this one too. And then once I got a few under my belt, I was like, I should probably put like a tagline in here so people can at least find my email list.
So you did that afterwards. I approved of that as well. It's like, just go out and do it. And then you go, oh, damn, I wonder if I've lost a few people. I wonder if a few people might have been looking for a bit more information. I better now go and create it. Whereas other people do it the other way around. In case people want to find more information, I'll go and create a really good looking website and a lead magnet. Then they go and do something. It's all tumbleweeds and nobody would have found it anyway. So you might as well just go out, help people, become known as the LinkedIn guy because you help people with LinkedIn, not because you say, I am the LinkedIn guy. It's that whole show don't tell, which is great. And I've just remembered when we were messaging in the forum before you went off looking for communities to help, you were coming up with your tagline of like who you help and what you help them with. And I remember it was quite big and we condensed it quite a bit.
Yeah. So when I first started off, and this is something I struggled with before, it's just like casting the net too wide. I think initially I was talking about, I help everybody with LinkedIn. And then, you and I going back and forth, it's like, who specifically can you help? And it's like, well, I know what industry I'm in, so I can help people in my industry. And we were able to keep paring that list down. But I guess what I've discovered through all this is that there's two ways to define who you are and who you help. You can help a specific segment of people, right? Like I help people who are 5'11" that want to play basketball but can't dunk or whatever. Or you can help people with a specific problem, right? It doesn't matter who you are, but if you want to get really, really, really good at using your LinkedIn profile so that when you submit an application, people respond, I'm the guy to help you. And as I've talked to all these people, I realized, okay, that's what people are asking for. And I know that's what I'm good at. So let me focus on this one very specific problem.
That's really interesting because we boiled it down previously to who you help, what you help them with, how you do it. It was slightly demographic based. It was like people in a particular type of job. We help those people to get
jobs through LinkedIn.
Using a good LinkedIn profile. Whereas your other way of doing it is more down to the intent of the person. Yeah. Right. They want to create a good LinkedIn profile. I like both ways, but I like that way particularly because I can see my search engine brain is instantly, I don't care what size you are or height you are, whether you like basketball or not. If you searched for this, then you're interested in that thing I can do. The demographics don't matter. It's just your intent.
Yeah. And again, it all came down to me not thinking this is what people want to hear, but reading survey after survey and everyone's saying the exact same thing. I don't know why I'm not getting responses to my application. I don't know why people are looking at my profile but not reaching out to me. That just opened my eyes up to say, like, hey, here's what I need to go after.
It's really interesting you put the survey on before people submitted their email. Did you notice that it affected the amount of people who entered their email or not?
No, and it's crazy. If anything, more people have been signed up since I added the survey on. And I've got two different squeeze pages. One has the survey on there, one doesn't. And the one that has the survey is converting higher than the one that doesn't. I don't know if it's this market that I'm looking at specifically where people are just really engaged and want to be able to give me all the information so I can help them. But I guess building that relationship up front has been pretty helpful.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they call the micro commitments, isn't it? Like they filled in that. It's like, damn it, I'm going to fill the whole thing in.
Right.
Are you studying The Ask book by Ryan Levesque?
Yes, yeah. So I just finished that, and that's where I got the whole survey idea from. And that whole concept just really clicked to me. Between what you told me about helping people and then what you learned from the Ask book about getting to know your audience and your customers, those two concepts, that's what's really enabled me to get off to this good start so far.
That's really interesting because he studied Dr. Glenn Livingston's stuff. And I think he was his top student and he's took that survey method and he's grown a $10 million a year company with 50 people in it. He's got the book and software and all kind of stuff. I remember studying it as well. I've got a little company, just me, with a couple of freelancers. But the main thing I took out of this course is if you put up a survey, you'll get a lot of people filling in the open-ended things like, what are you looking for today? What are you struggling with? And a lot of people, I just need to pass an exam. And then somebody will write a load, that hyper-responsive person writing a load of information in a form to a complete stranger because they are super frustrated. The reason they're super frustrated is they've been around looking for a solution for a long while and looked at everything on the market and they can't find it and it's really bugging them. Glenn's thing was like, 50 people said this. That's important. You want that on your sales page. But the things you're going to learn from the few people out of the 100 who write a ton is potentially more useful than 50 people all saying the same thing, because those people are possibly more educated about the market.
And that concept about going after who's really hungry, that client who paid me the money for the coaching, she reached out to me not once, but twice, asking me like, hey, I'm really interested in working with you. Can you please get back to me? And then just to your point about the hyper responsiveness, when I got on the phone with her and I was hearing her story, I'm taking notes. And now I'm using the exact phrases that she was saying about how she was struggling in my copy as I'm now getting ready to launch this ebook. One of the things she told me was that she had been looking for so long that she had lost confidence in herself as a candidate. And I can't imagine how many other people are feeling that same way. So if I'm this person and I feel like I've lost confidence in myself, and then I open up my email inbox and I see a headline that says, has your job search made you lose your confidence? Or something along that line. I'm going to open that up and I'm going to be engaged. So it's been a really cool experience.
Yeah, using the language they give you and then coming back.
It was the easiest email subject line I ever had to write. Just copy and paste.
You're getting all these responses. I presume people are still trickling in.
Absolutely.
Some of those are going to the free phone call, which, by the way, is a hyper-responsive thing. When I send someone a thank you in the forum for following me, I get a great little interaction. And then sometimes I end up with a big, long conversation. Like with yourself, it was quite a lot of backwards and forwards, and we honed in on something. I wasn't surprised that you popped up later on, having done something, because you wouldn't have continued that conversation for so long if you weren't hyper-responsive. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's like when I send visitors to a website, if they were searching for something, I don't need to make the website look really pretty. In a way, if it looks a bit ugly and I'm not selling too hard, then the people who ring my clients, they're more likely to convert because they don't care what the website looks like. They're just that annoying. So you're getting people coming through. Some of them are frustrated enough to want to speak to a complete stranger for 30 minutes. Even though you're giving it away for free, you can't give it away to everybody because it's their time that they're giving to you. And then also some people are shy and whatnot. That's one of the best things I've been doing is if people are stuck with something, I'll go, oh, look, why don't we just jump on a call and have a chat? And I might spend 30 minutes chatting about something, but then I learn so much. I can help them, they can go off. Most of them don't turn into a client, and that's not the intention, but the amount of stuff I learn, like, wow, so many people are saying they've lost confidence in the such and such. How many of these free phone calls have you had?
Just 5. So I had my first one about 9 days ago, and then I've had 4 since then. I've had 1 convert out of those 5.
And if you start recording some of those, obviously let them know beforehand, like, are you happy I record this? I can give it to you and maybe use it for training later. Then you might take out 2-minute segments or 5-minute segments. It can be a YouTube video. It can be a Facebook video. It would work pretty good on Facebook, I think. How many people might not be looking for a job at that moment in time, but they're in the market, lost confidence in this is a quick solution. It could work really well. Are you planning to continue doing the 30-minute conversations with people?
I think so, just because there's so much value in it. I mean, it's beneficial to me because I'm getting to know the customer even more, right? You get a lot of insights from a survey, but being able to talk on the phone to someone and ask them that follow-up question in the moment, it's invaluable, just learning about my audience. And then 2, I am helping people. Even in those 30 minutes, I'm able to, in the same way that you just asked me one question, and it completely shifted my whole paradigm on how to get this thing started. I've heard that same thing in people that I talk, you're doing it this way, but if you just change this one small thing, I guarantee the results will get better. Definitely something I'll keep up with.
And if you can see it in video, you get to see that aha moment.
Right.
I've seen people sit back and go, oh. You'd hear it in the phone as well if it was just audio, but when they sit back and go, oh, it's like they're doing a face palm. I'm looking for those little twists, the little twists that will help people just get unstuck. You've answered 29 things. You might find you're repeating yourself and you might go, I've seen this before. Where is it? You go and copy paste and then you go, I must stop copy paste. And then you go and write a nice article on it. And that article is battle tested. It got created because you did it once to answer somebody, then again, and then you're like, I'm done creating this loads of times. I'm going to create an article. That article is going to help loads of people because it's already helped a few people. Versus if you sit and write a blog post with a blank screen and go, what should I write about?
Exactly.
You've got no idea whether it's going to help anybody, and then nobody's going to find it. Whereas this way, it's just the better way to do it. And then once I'd got speaking to people, I knew what they were stuck on, but I then could figure out why they were stuck on it. They all kept saying the same thing. The patterns were always the same. And then once I figured that out, then I ended up creating a course. And then who did I sell that course to? But all the people who already know me as the AdWords guy. I released it. I didn't launch it with a big fanfare and a fancy countdown timer, like I was going to go up in price and all that stuff. Just released it slowly into the forum, had sales over 18 months, and there we go. And now I know that course will sell to people who already know, like, and trust me. The sales page worked for those people. All I need to do is get people who don't know me to know, like, and trust me, and then I can present it.
That's what I'm focusing on a lot right now, too. So taking all those questions that I'm answering on Quora and doing a lot of what you just said, too, but instead of putting them on my blog, I'm adding them to my email responder. Once you get on my list, you'll go through just like a short indoctrination series where I tell you a little bit about who I am and my story. And then I'll start sending you strictly content pieces. And I'm just repurposing all these different answers that I'm giving on Quora and then just throwing those into the email responder. Because maybe one person found me on answer number 1, but they haven't seen answers 22 through 28, right? That's my goal and kind of building that whole know, like, and trust piece. Now, when I do start offering more of these products and services, they know who I am, what I'm offering.
You've got one sale now.
It happened, I don't want to say effortlessly because there's definitely a lot of work that went into making that happen. But when I think about how I started before, I invested all this time up front. Okay, let me build all these lead magnets. Let me build all these sales pages. Let me write this copy. Let me create these email autoresponders. I did it the wrong way. Let me talk to people first. Let me understand what they're struggling with first. Let me help somebody. And then from there, once I have a really good understanding of what the market's struggling with, then I can go back and be really focused with what I'm making because I know it's going to convert because this is what they told me they want.
And have you had your coaching call yet? The paid one?
Yeah, we actually just had it yesterday morning. That was the first paid one that we had, and it went great. Like, it went so well. She told me that she took so much away from that first session.
So there's a buzz there, isn't there, of just helping.
Right.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm helping people put a roof over their heads. That's what you're doing. You're helping them. You're helping their immediate family. They're helping their extended family because their mum and dad are worried about them if they haven't got a job and all this kind of stuff. What would you recommend to somebody now if they were like, I've got this idea, I'm going to go build a website and auto-responder series and blah, blah, blah?
The first thing I would say is just find someone that you feel you can help. If they're asking a question on a forum, or even something in your personal life, like if someone's personally struggling with what it is you feel you can bring value with, just go out there and help someone. See if what you have to offer is actually solving a problem for them. Then if it is, get to know that problem on a very intimate level, right? What is it exactly that they're struggling with? What are the thoughts that are running through their minds? What are the mental hurdles they feel they have to jump through to get to that solution? And once you've done that, then all the other work is laid out already. You've already got the framework that you need to go follow. Find someone to help them, pay attention, ask good questions, and everything else takes care of itself. But it's just so strange because you hear a lot of the internet gurus who talk about super complex marketing strategies and techniques. So you need this one-click upsell, and you need this multi-layered funnel, and you need to remarket people who opt in for your lead bank but don't buy your tripwire. And you need this email series for this and this email series for that. But when you really just break it down at its core, all you have to do is find somebody to help. And once you hear it in those super simple terms, all of the other auxiliary things you're hearing, they just fade away to the background, and you can get super focused on that one thing.
Yeah, if somebody had not read any of that guru stuff online, they wouldn't know any of that stuff. They'd just literally do it. I just think of the 16-year-old kid coming around with a lawnmower. Do you need a grass cut? Actually, I do, yeah. And then, that's it. Did he need to get a book on cold calling? Did he need to get a logo and a website?
There's definitely a time and place for all of that. But when you're first getting started, the concept is super simple. And I got to thank you again, Andy, for giving me that clarity.